Good morning, beginners. I hope that you are all well. Just creating a quick video to run through the poses that you have been learning so far. Try and give you a little bit of outside of the class support. So we've only had 2 of the 3 classes so far. It's just a mini course. That's why I wanted to support you the best I could outside as well. So we'll begin with easy seated. If you remember, I said about having a pillow or cushion, something to raise the hips slightly, if possible, slightly above the knees. In that easy seated sukhasana can be quite nice and supportive. If that seat's not right for you, and that's absolutely fine, find one that is. Find whatever your comfortable seated position is, where you can be there for an extended period of time during breathing exercises or meditation. So I've taken this position. However, other choices are, especially if you're in a class and you've got access to a bolster, really lovely way to alleviate knee pain is sitting up onto the bolster. And we said about having legs out or to the side, whatever you need to do. So we always begin with that nice comfortable seated position. In the first week we covered breathing. Breath is essential to yoga. It guides the movement. Everything comes back to the breath. The breath moves the energy around the body. It calms the nervous system. And that's why we're all here really doing yoga, to help keep us calm, keep us focused, help us to respond rather than react. So to begin with, we like to have a nice even inhale and exhale. Find the breath count for you. I know it's tempting to want to follow the teacher perfectly. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. But I'm very conscious that you are comfortable with the breath. So do what you need to do for you. So whether it's a count of 2 or 4, 5 or whatever it is, work with that pattern. Don't be afraid to just be slightly different timing to someone else in the space. And the other breathing exercise, especially to help calm you down, take you into a more relaxed space, is to extend the exhale. So the inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. By doing that, you're really getting contact with your parasympathetic nervous system, really calm everything down. So that's especially lovely to do at the end of your yoga session or at any point during the day if you just need a chill. Okay, so next pose, we go straight into the tabletop pose. I recommend blanket under the knee, not a big wedge of blanket, but 1 or 2 folded, just to alleviate just to give some comfort to the knee. And so tabletop, you've got hands roughly beneath shoulders, you've got knees roughly beneath hips, and then you work within that. What does your body need? If it's not comfortable, go to where you need to go. It's always inquiring with yoga, inquiring what your body needs. So tabletop tips are wide fingers, alleviating the stress on the wrist. Like I say, possibly a blanket under the knee. Flat back the best you can. I know it sounds a bit funny, but if you can do it in front of a mirror, even just once, and just have a look at your back, just notice if you've got a dip there or an arch, and just see about how you can make that a nice flat back. Obviously your back's a different shape, so if it's got a slight curve in there, that's fine, but if it's quite exaggerated, have a little check that out. When we are in that pose, your head is neutral to the earth, so your spine is long, neck is long to the head. Oh, hi, sweetheart. Thank you.
My perfect table.
Okay, thank you very much. This is Poppy, my daughter. So I wouldn't normally be looking over, it's only because I'm talking to you that I am, but the head would be neutral. So imagine the cord all the way from the base of the spine. When I talk about the base of the spine, I'm talking about here, all the way through the crown of the head. And that lovely tabletop goes through into a cat-cow pose, cat-cow rhythm. So the cow, inhaling up, really dipping the spine, feeling the vertebrae, tucking the tailbone up, and then arching over like a cat. Inhaling the cow, exhaling the cat. And taking that right back into that arch so you can really feel that expression of the spine there. And then it's pairing it with the breath and really pairing it with the breath. So keeping that even. Inhale, exhale, taking it back through. And it's such a lovely pose to do because it's fabulous for the back, but it also is an opportunity to work with the breath and be guided by the breath. When you're there, really think about the vertebrae in the spine, think about that arch each way, the curve each way. So we talked about spinal movement in the second class, and we'll just go through those poses from the first one, but I want you to keep in mind the movement of the spine. So there were 7 different movements. So the first one, from our comfortable seated, or even from kneeling, whatever it is, even from seated on your chair at work. So it's inhaling, and then feel that reach, feel that extension and length of the spine as you do that. So we had the reaching up, that was number 1. Okay, I've got a bit distracted because my beautiful daughter is here. So from here, we're going to go into child pose. So we've had tabletop, we've done cat-cow, we've had the comfortable seated position. So child pose is always a challenge for beginners because of the flexibility. So what I'm going to get... Sorry, darling, can you go and sit over somewhere else for a moment while I just do this, please? Okay, you do it there, thank you. Okay, so we've got a little volunteer to do some child's pose here as well. Okay, so child's pose, you're coming right down. So if you go down into your child's pose, Poppy. Okay, so you bring the bottom back towards the heels first. If that's not possible, we take some kind of cushion, pillow, just so you are meeting something there. When you've done that section, you come forward. Now this takes a bit of time and it can be quite strong in the shoulders as we noticed, but you're going to be coming down, bringing the forehead to the earth. This can feel like a lovely stretch through the shoulders. If it's too strong, we mentioned bringing the elbows out, fingers together, forehead to the earth again. The other option, I think, is actually great for both men and women, and I know especially anyone that likes to increase the stretch a little bit further as well, can have wide knees, and it just gives you that bit more space to get lower to the earth. So if you need something for the head to bring the earth higher to the head, take a block, pillow, or a book is good at home. And try again, coming down. Okay. So I'll let you practice with the child's pose at home. Okay, so child pose, a really important one in yoga. It's such a nice chill out, gives you that time to just have a pause between poses, or the end or the beginning, and it's something nice that you can do at home as well. I know in the past when I've had a headache, it can just feel really lovely to just bring your head down there. Okay, next up we've got the downward dog. So I know downward dog is often a stronger one. With downward dog, I think it's just practicing it because it is strong, and it's very different having your head in that position. So if possible, you're trying to do this for a few seconds each day and just hold that pose and feel into it. Again, this is quite a good one to do next to a mirror. I don't know if you have access to that. It's not necessary, but it's just so you could see the alignment of the spine. Okay, so with the downward dog, it's always about setting yourself up first. So tucking the toes under. We're going from this tabletop position and lifting up the knees first. So if you notice here, I've got a lovely long spine going through into the neck. So with that, you can see why it's taking me a bit of time to do a video. So I just really need you to keep low there, sweetheart. Okay, so with the downward dog, like I say, you don't have to rush into having those straight legs at the back. I think support yourself first and get the idea of that long spine. So hands are stretched out in front, head hangs between the arms, but not too far low and not looking up. And then you can gradually start to work into the straighter legs, but take your time here and really think about bringing the hips back. So imagine somebody, I can actually use you, Poppy, as an example here. You can lift up. So it's just bringing those hips back a little bit further and you'll feel the stretch there. Thank you. That's a lovely straight spine you've got there. Okay, so the other thing is people try and bring the heels down. You can come down there. People try to bring the heels down straight away. Don't worry about that right now. Okay, next up. So we're going to go through from a forward fold and then we're going to come up into a mountain pose. The forward fold is one that lots of people struggle with at first because you're hinging from the hips, not curving. So it's getting that idea of hinging rather than folding over yourself. Okay, so for this forward fold, if you can stand just there, that would be great, thank you. Okay, so for this fold, we're going to inhale all the way up to the top, and then we're going to exhale and fold down. As I fold, you'll notice I've got a nice bend in my knees. I'm not trying to keep it straight at the moment. Nice fold in the knees, as much as I need to feel comfortable. You'll notice the contact with the belly and the chest, with the thighs. That's lovely. Again, we're thinking about the spine here. So that's your full forward fold. In time, you might start to find some length and straightness in the legs, but it's not critical right now when we're beginning. Especially on the first one for the morning. Okay, so nice forward fold. And then inhaling that halfway lift. The halfway lift is a lovely flat back as you were in the tabletop. So the hands are they're hovering here. They're not really pushing down, just gentle. And then you start to get that nice straightness. And then exhaling, folding down again. The next time we come up, we're going to be coming all the way up. Take your time, vertebrae by vertebrae, reaching the top on the inhale and then exhaling, bringing the hands down. So I know you can't quite see all of me, but the mountain pose, you'll either have feet together or feet hip distance apart. This is a strong mountain pose. Shoulders are down. All four corners of the feet are in contact with the earth. You've got your lovely alignment of head over chest, over pelvis. Here. And then that, with the standing, it goes all the way down to the feet. So we're always considerate of that alignment. And with the mountain, it's a lovely opportunity, again, to take a pause, take a breath, even close the eyes. Work with that even inhale and exhale. Okay, so next up, tree pose. I think most of you enjoyed the tree pose, so we'll just have a quick recap of that. First of all, thinking about your supporting leg, slight bend in the knee, and imagining the foot going down as roots into the earth. As you do take the weight to that side, it's quite strong in the hip, that's why we stretch it out after. But we find this opposite leg lighter. So always start with that kickstand, heel against the ankle of the supporting leg. So you're welcome to start there. You can have hands on hips. You can have palms at heart center, Anjali Mudra. And you're just working on finding that balance. So then you can slide the knee up. The precaution here is not to put the foot up to the knee, not to put the foot onto the knee. That will be damaging. So you can either have it below or you can have it above the knee there. That tree pose can then develop up to you where you like it to go. So you can have your arms out, you can point them together, you can see how you feel there. And with the tree pose, I always like to have a little shake out after that because it's quite a lot of tension. And like we said, you can always have a go at brushing your teeth on one leg. And it's just starting to work with balance. And if you did notice any differences on each side, that might be useful feedback for you to think about working on the opposite side. Okay, so we're starting to go a little bit, bit into time here. So we also did chair pose while we're standing up. I'm going to just demo that now. Okay, chair pose, again, it's quite a strong one for the thighs, really good one. People often avoid it because it is strong, but don't be afraid of that. Okay, so with the chair pose, we're inhaling up, bringing the hands up, and then we sit down on that invisible chair behind us. When you're there, you can slightly tuck the tailbone under, not too exaggerated, like I said before, and we're not dipping the spine out. So again, we're thinking about that nice long spine. Welcome to keep your hands out or palms together while we're beginning at heart center. Keeping your even breath here, like all the poses, we're keeping a nice even inhale and exhale. And then you're free to work within that, whether you want to come down lower, see how you feel. The weight distribution of the feet, thinking about slightly coming back in the heel, just in case you're coming too far forward for the knees. Yeah, just a nice even breath in that pose. If you can, try to do 3 breaths whilst in chair pose. Okay, so the only other 2 that we need to cover in the second class were the shavasana, which we did at the end, and the twist. So just before we do that, I just want to remind you of the 6 other movements, or the 4 other movements of the spine. Okay, so we've got to remember you can have the side bend, and that obviously goes both ways. The upward reach, and then the backward bend. We've done the forward fold, so we've done that already. And we are now going to do the twist. Okay, so coming down into seated position, just bring this down a little bit so you can see me a bit more clearly. So you can do this from your comfortable seated position. If you wouldn't mind just moving up just slightly there. Thank you, Poppy. Okay. Let's pop that out of the way. Okay, so you can do it from the comfortable seated position. To go into your twist, you're inhaling up and you're exhaling to the right first, or whichever side is most comfortable. And when you're in this position, really think about inhaling length up through the spine, exhaling softness into the twist. You'll notice my head's not just twisting around like that. Don't force anything. Just don't force anything in yoga. Just always work into it, and then you can gradually work back if it's too far. But don't just push yourself to begin with too far. And that's why I love using the breath, because it takes you there. It's a journey, and it's a journey over many years. And then obviously we do it on the opposite side as well. You can demonstrate that, Poppy. So it's the inhale up, and then we go to the opposite side. The left side. Yeah, so you've got your hand there and this hand behind you. Okay. Right. If you were interested in doing what is on the picture, yes, so you're just going to be taking your one leg folded into the knee, and then bringing the other leg over the top, and just feel that for a moment. Don't go into any twists, don't rush into anything. So just finding that comfortable position, taking the top leg over the top, bring it into yourself. Make sure your seated bones are quite even. You're not just toppled right over. Keep it even. And then you would inhale, feel the length, and then exhale into the twist. So the twist were the final 2 spinal movements. Inhaling length, exhaling into the twist. And that can be very subtle, like I say. Okay. Moving in and out of poses is where people can sometimes get injured. So it's always just take your time, be kind, be compassionate to yourself, and send yourself all that love, because you've done so well trying something new, being brave, putting yourself out there, and wanting to care for your body. So well done. I'm really impressed by everyone's progress, even in just the 2 weeks. It's really cool. And really looking forward to next week, where we can work on the final poses. You'll notice in that final week we go into Warrior 1. I will give you a bit of a warrior video as well next week to help support you with that. And I've gone so far over what I hope to. I'm really sorry, but hopefully you'll find some use in this video for those poses. As I said with Shavasana, it's just about being the most comfortable you can possibly be. So Poppy, if you want to lie down on my mat here, just lie down fully on my mat, the purple one. I can't see you on the video there, so if you could just go on the purple one. Thanks, sweetheart. Yeah, just complete. That's it. It was lovely. Yeah, just lay back. I'll help you. Okay, so you've got your legs slightly wider. Lovely, thank you. That's beautiful. Okay, so you've got your legs slightly wide. You've got your arms slightly out. Backs of hands to the mat. Your head is completely relaxed. If you like to have a cushion under your head, if you like to have a bolster under your knees, then do whatever you need to be comfortable. It'll be too high for your head, sweetheart. It's just a bit high, this. And then things like having an eye pillow or eye mask are really helpful, especially in this summery, bright weather. Just to block out that light, bring yourself inwards. Shavasana is critical to your practice. Don't ever leave the Shavasana out, even if you just do 1 minute, but ideally you're doing 10 minutes, I would say, because it's so lovely. And just do a bit of a body scan, working with the breath, coming back to the breath. Every time the mind starts to wander, come back to the breath. Okay, I think that's it. So thanks so much, and I really look forward to you on Monday. Okay, cheers guys. Just ask me any questions if you need. Bye.